might just be because of luck. It might not actually have to do the tweaking. So let's see. Let's submit this guy. Did I actually rebuild it? Okay. And we're going to drop all the way back down first. That's typical of it. So those of us joining you that haven't seen this before, we're running superhero bots for coding game. Hi Sinclair and hi Daza, welcome back. So when I left off on Sunday, I had Hulk and Doctor Strange going about the fight. I couldn't keep Hulk alive. Hulk just kept dying on me, and I had no idea how to keep him alive. I gave him potions, mana things, whatever, and he just kept dying, so I gave up on Hulk and I went to Doctor Strange and Iron Man, and they're doing a lot better for me. As we can see, they're going a lot better, but not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. As you can see, we're climbing the charts relatively fast with the strategy, and that makes sense. That's good. But we'll go over the tweaks. Actually, I was in bronze last time. Like Nakas, I was actually in bronze, and I actually, yes, I managed to fix that up because I was getting really frustrated with Rust in the last episode. So if you didn't see that, I was in Rust last episode, and I was getting really frustrated with it. And so I just took some time off on the side to clean up my code and fix some of the strategy bits and get us to silver at least. And then I spent a bit working on silver, and we'll see where we are on silver now. As you were climbing, it takes a while to climb. And it's kind of random. There's a lot of random strategies, it seems, in here. So we have a lot of cases where you don't climb as quickly as the other ones. And this chart here's a little bit weird. Yes. Oh man. Let's see what happens here. Let's... the issue with borrowing. Okay, while this is running, let's just assume I get to the top of the leaderboard and let that run there in the background. The guys over at Rust user forums, they've been very helpful with this. They've given a lot of advice and stuff like that. And borrowing, we had a big problem with borrowing last time, and some of the guys on Twitter. Now, despite all the help, I'm not entirely happy with the situation right now. What I have is basically what we ended up with last time, I think. I don't remember when I changed this. I had to sell item by item. Is we ended up cloning it anyways. And so that's about all you can really do. You can clone it. The other option was not to make helper functions. This may sound stupid, but this is basically what it comes down to, is that you can't borrow from the same item twice. So in here in buy item, if you had a self, you can't call multiple self items. Oh, and ignore my phone again. It always rings at the most inopportune times. The whole day, not a single phone call, and now it rings. And it has no number, so I don't care. I'm just going to ignore it. But I was saying this borrowing, you can't borrow from self twice, and this makes it really, really hard to make helper functions. So instead of having a find item function, the suggestion is basically you have something like self.items.find. And this creates a disjoint sort of, it disjoins the two so you can borrow from multiple ones. It gets you a little bit further, but it does break down fairly quickly again. Now the logic why you can't call find item and then modify the hero at the same time is because the idea is that if you're borrowing something from the item list and then you go and modify self, you may have invalidated the pointer to the item. Like, it doesn't know what you're doing. Even though it kind of does know what you're doing, it doesn't really know for sure what find item does, so it's super conservative and it makes it very hard to do certain things. I'll go over more some of the strategy things I made as well. And well, whatever change I made is not doing well for us. Where'd I go? I'm gone, like something wacky happened. Alright, so this is really weird that I'm really far down because I was right at 2 and I made a minimal change. Thanks, Sinclair. Appreciate it very much. This is weird. We're getting some bad luck here. What did I change? I'll get rid of this, whatever I changed there. Oh, no, don't go that far back. Crap. Okay, so what did I actually change now? In Wimpy, I changed this range here. Well, that couldn't have made that much of a difference, though. See, this is what I mean. There's a lot of randomness in this league, and it's very hard to track what your bot's doing. We'll probably keep going up slightly, but that change I made is unlikely to account for that big, massive change in performance because I didn't have this condition at all before. And I was right close to the top, and making this condition was only supposed to be a minor tweak, and it makes a huge difference. Let's check one of the battles where I lost to see if there's any tweak I can actually do. I'm not keen on making a massive change at the moment. I'm trying to find something small that we can sneak through. As you can see, we win most of them here. There is a row of bad ones there. And we're not actually doing that many battles. So based on the number of battles you do, like, we're up to 50 of them. So you only do 100 battles. You can actually get lucky and unlucky. Let's see what happens here with these last few battles. So we are climbing still. Hopefully get back up there, and I'd really like to see if the tweak makes a difference or not. And I'm trying not to just submit spam. I'm trying to actually find something that gets us slightly better in there. Okay, but we can explain in one of these what the basic strategy is now. Oops. Yeah, I think this is a lot like the bottom rank here. The bottom of the ranks, as Alexa says, is the bottom of the ranks. Like the bottom 100 is really like random strategies, and you can see from my queue here, the last battles, that sometimes I do really poorly in it, and sometimes I do really well. And I think I really need those extra battles, and it feels kind of like cheating, but in a way it's also not, because some of the strategies at the bottom end, and I had them here as well, is that they can do really well down there. They can beat people, and they're really hard to beat. The problem is they don't beat a lot of people, but they can really mess with other bots. So we might be at the situation where we could try and get lucky at this point. We don't know. We just don't know. I don't think I'm high enough to climb yet. 38. Blah. It's close. Because last time we sat at 2 for the longest time. Now, I don't think you have to actually submit to win. I believe you can actually get to the next rank without having active battles. I wasn't sure how that works, because sometimes I recall in a previous it wasn't a contest though, it was one of the games, I climbed without having submitted. But this is where it's really hard to say, did my change here make a difference, or... What I'm doing here is this attack hero range is for... I'm going to zoom in a bit here. I'm going to lose the chat and zoom in. There we go. We have Iron Man. He only attacks when his fireball when he has full mana now, or pretty close to full mana. The reason is because it's stronger, and one of the guys over in the chat there told me that. I didn't realize that. I was just spanning down to 0. And then I recall it. But he still seems to be casting Fireball more often than I'd expect. And so my Doctor Strange strategy, both of them are very sort of, they built on that cowardly strategy of just keeping back, try not to get injured. Doctor Strange then goes and tries to heal each other as we get damaged. They both do ranged attacks. And that's the extent of, they buy some items. As you can see, they don't try to upgrade or anything, they just buy some items. And then if they need health potions, they buy health potions. Okay, let's see how we lost this. Let's see how we lost this one. You can see this. We're over here on the right, and we've exhausted our mana. We do definitely die at the end. And I don't know why we die. Well, Hulk. We don't do well against Hulk. That's just one of our issues. But his heroes are acting really weird compared to the other ones I've seen. They're running all over the place. So we must do something really weird to screw this up. Because this looks like... It doesn't look like it's going badly for us, but we must do something really stupid at the end. So Iron Man runs away. You notice when they have really low health, they run away right now? And he should run away at some point too and start healing them. Or he'll wait until we have enough gold for a potion. If we ever get more gold, he'll buy a potion and heal himself. That's the idea, at least. I don't know how much potions cost. Hope you can see it over there in the chat window. I don't know if it covers up everything. It's like it looks, we should have won this one, so I think I did some sort of stupid mistake. Why is he not running back? Alright, so I have an error that Doctor Strange wasn't running back because he was really low in health. And he should have been running back. So there's definitely that error there. For example, rank 2... Okay, Renata says ranks will rank 200. When you're rank 50, might be non-stop submitting and you are always winning against it and getting battles against you, and you then just climb your bot up until higher than the boss. Do I just really keep adding to my score if I keep submitting, or what happens? That would seem weird, but maybe it's done that way. Let's see, what do we have? So let's put this range down. Let's put it even lower. We want to use a fireball even less. Then we can submit it again. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. So this round for sure, and this is the big issue about submitting, is I don't know if the minor changes are going to make any difference, right? I just changed the point at when he kills fireball. And we'll see if this changes the rank that much. But I was consistently up at rank 2 until I made that change. But the change is so minor, it's hard to believe, right? I just want to go for gold. We have to get to gold before the Legendary League is announced tomorrow. That's my goal right now, get into gold. So we have a much better... Yeah, and look at this. When you get a much better start, we automatically jump to 54. And that almost seems like, is this unfair then? Because then it gets you out of those random bots at the bottom into the bots that are all written to try and get to gold. Anyway, we're already at 12. I have it... Okay, this has to be some sort of randomness because I find it very hard to believe that the value I tweaked here can make that much of a difference. It's just not possible. He doesn't use fireball that much. And the difference between waiting for full mana or mana minus 50 or minus mana 100 is like really small. It's really hard to believe that that actually makes a significant difference. And this has been some of my struggles in the last couple of days playing with, is that it's really hard to see what your changes are doing. And so Regina says fireball is overpowered. Yeah, I got that. Fire overpowered. And yeah, I mean, waiting for it definitely helps. When I changed it from when I had this without this condition entirely, I was sitting a few ranks before. Putting this condition in definitely helped. I'm just saying the condition of max minus 50, max minus 100 probably doesn't help compared to just calling it whenever I could. And I dropped down again. There I am. So we just don't know, and it's hard to change a strategy when you just don't know. But the other thing that's been happening, you'll notice that this spider boss, his value has been climbing up over time. When I started in silver yesterday, the scores I've been getting were actually higher than his. He was somewhere around 27, but he's climbed up to 29 today. And he's made this massive gap, and we disappeared from the scoreboard again. Oh man, come on, no, where are we? Dropped to 37. That's bad. So something's changed since I submitted that, but it's definitely not that bit. Back to 21. This is really rough. This is jumping around quite a bit. Although I noticed when you're in the leaderboard, until you get up to the... There's so many people at these ranks here. The numbers are so tightly together that a minor change jumps you through the leader ranks a lot. So 1 loss or win until you actually get past. Once you get to 26, then it's really stable. But you have to get to 26 first before you have that stability. And we drop down to 37. So we have to look for something else to push us back up there. So even though we're at number 2 through a couple times, and I was actually there most of the day today, since noon, and now it's getting hard to get back there, it seems. We're just going to say, let's cast it only at max. We're only going to cast it at max. I only cast it at heroes as well right now. That's what the hero is, find nearest type hero. I only cast it at heroes. And I don't know why, but I guess it seems like the best thing to do. One thing we did notice, if we activate a Groot ever, somehow we get attacked by a Groot, I completely ignore it because none of my logic to look for nearest hero is going to actually attack him. Well, wait, let me show you how I changed a few things. I've cleaned up some of the strategies, so they all have this return sum now. This return sum is just a macro that says if this function here returns something other than none, then we take that move. And I've separated these out into sub-functions. It makes it really easy to reorder these things. So right now we check if we should run away first, if there's a hero in range to attack, or if there's a deny. Deny is when there's one of our own people that's low powered to kill. If all those fail, we say, well, should we buy an item? Then it looks through potential items. And then when all that fails, it goes down here and it looks for the weakest enemy. And it's really silly that I have an is none here because the weakest enemy can never be filled. There's always a weakest unit. Well, maybe not. No, if they're all dead, sorry, because it's only of unit type. And otherwise I find the nearest unit, and this is stupid because this will never be called. Because if you have no weakest unit, you have no nearest unit. But then I look for heroes. I'm uncertain of the order here, but I don't want to tweak it too much right now. And then I have this logic called prefer attack. What I've done is a few things which have helped a lot as well is in the strategy. If we go down to prefer attack, well, the first thing is I stopped calling attack ever. I learned that attack is bad. Never use attack. So all of my attacks have been replaced with move attack. Because what attack did is it moved you towards the person. I didn't realize that. So what I do is I calculate where I want to go always on my own and call move attack. And I move there, and this prevents me from moving when I don't intend it. But you'll see my guys dance on the screen sometimes. They dance and spot as though they're moving, so they get the moving animation anyways. And then I also created this move attack function, which simplifies it. And what I did separately is as well as I said, look, if you're moving here and you want to attack this target, but you can't reach it, so this says if you can reach it, then attack it. But if you can't reach it, you still move to the same place, but find the nearest unit and take a shot at him. It doesn't cost you anything, an extra turn there, why not? So it takes an opportunity shot. And then prefer attack here, what I did here as well, is I said I want to attack this unit, and if I'm within range, I attack it. I just sit where I am and I attack it. If I'm out of range, I scan. I scan the positions in front of me to say, well, which ones of these positions are safe, starting at the full distance, then half the distance, and a quarter, and so forth. And I let my hero walk a little bit there. And this prevents me from walking right into enemy territory to attack the one I want. Otherwise, I just sit and spot and try to attack from where I am if there's something there. And move attack is, again, the one right up here that says, well, if you're going to attack anyways, just find somebody close by. And we're falling down because of this. This is weird. Well, then let's submit the one I had before. The only change I made was that max power thing, so let's submit that. I was hoping to start the day in gold, but I guess we're going to have to fight for gold here, and we see us get to gold. Hi, Nkoyan. We're fighting to get for gold right now. As I was just saying, I was hoping to start at gold, but looks like it's a little bit of a battle to get up there, and I need some minor tweaks still. And the other thing I recently adjusted is in the strategy, I put another one. So there's lots of stuff in strategy. I created this big function called isSafe. So given any position on the board, I have this heuristic as to whether this is actually safe or not to be there. And I'm really super conservative. I'm inquiring, yes, I do check my enemies in range. So Wimpy here, which should actually be renamed to Iron Man. His if hero attack range 1, it looks for the nearest hero unit, and if the hero is within range, I'm at maximum mana, and I'm not in the countdown, so I can still use it. Then I cast Fireball. So I should never be casting Fireball when the hero is not in range, and you actually see me cast it from across this board right at the right distance sometimes. But I also don't try to walk away, so I'm definitely checking in range. For Stranger, for Doctor Strange, I have an if pull, and so it has the same setup here. You can see my setup right here is I have the same series of basic tactics, and I've just combined the tactics into one big strategy. The first thing he does is a heal potion, I don't know, and then he does if pull. And if pull is the logic that says, can I pull an enemy close to me? And I also look for a hero here. I'm looking for a hero, and I try to pull him towards me, because I noticed that was what killing me the whole time, and when I started doing that, that's what bumped me up really high in the things. Hey, you're right, I forgot to check range here. Huh. I should definitely try to check the range. I did put this in though. I did put something so I don't use up all the pull when I need it for healing, but definitely we should have the range here. That was silly of me. How'd I miss that? Distance to our hero dot position is less than pull skill dot range. Then we can do it, otherwise we do none. Else none. So I might have been wasting pulls, so that might be explained why I'm killing my mana so fast, because I'm not calling pull that much. And I do an if heal. My if heal, I probably got fancier than need to be. I try to check my skill. First of all, I calculate the heal amounts, because your healing goes down as you have less mana, so if the heal amount is less than the cost of the spell, I won't cast it. I also check at our two hero goods. I check the hero goodness. If we have less than half, if we're over half, we're good. And then I check if I'm good and the opponent and my other hero is good, I won't cast it. If one of us bad, I'll cast it on either one. Otherwise, I look for the center distance between us, walk towards it, and try and cast it on both of us. But right now, since we both stick to the center lane, that's not a big deal. The next step, of course, would be not to stay in the center lane. But that pull thing might be enough to make a difference, because that would certainly give me more power. And so let's just submit that. I'm not doing well there. Wow, but the scoring is really random. I don't know what happened here that I'm suddenly down at 100. I put this to 75. I put this back to 50. This is a hard-coded value that says position myself. This is the original cowardly strategy to say stand behind our units, and I just put a buffer zone. And I noticed changing the buffer zone makes a big difference. If you put too far away, you don't kill anything. If you put too close, you take too much damage. The is safe has a few extra things too. Is that actually I took out the hero things. I just ignore the heroes now. I used to consider them, but none of them seem to do anything. I do have this hard-coded one that anything within range of the enemy tower is just unsafe. I just never walk in there, because then you get hit by the tower and you just die. And the only reason I get in there is when I get pulled, and getting pulled in is the worst possible thing in the tower, and that's why I try to do this hero stuff up here. They say if I'm too close, and there's actually one up here, if I was too close to Strange, just stay out of his range, but this range is so big that you would just never be close to anybody. And the same with the here. Spear flip's not as bad though. So that's basically where the strategy is, and I'm looking for like the tweaks that get us into gold. This one's going up a lot faster. Maybe that 75 tweak made that huge difference. Maybe it is. Who knows? So Amev here was one that I was losing against before, and I tweaked it until I beat him. And if this doesn't work, I'll pick another one that I tweak it. Okay, but we're going up fast now? I don't know. See, I don't know. It's just like... we changed two things. There's a bit of randomness in the submit. Did we actually improve something? It's hard to tell, but that looks like going up fast. Once we hit a certain rank, we should be stable. We might be stable in the ranks now, so we shouldn't drop too much. But then again, I said this spider boss has gotten a lot harder. In my opinion, he's gotten a lot harder somehow. Yesterday it was also, spider boss was just Hulk and Valkyrie just pummeling you. No, Hulk and Deadpool. Yesterday it was just Hulk and Deadpool just pummeling you, and I had no chance against it. And I started tweaking my strategy for that, so when I got back today, and then suddenly it was always Valkyrie and Doctor Strange, so I think they changed the hero somehow, or they changed the boss. I don't know, and... Alright, so we're stable, we're going up now. The pull thing could definitely do it, because this would improve our things. It was too easy? Okay, they changed the boss. Right? Now it's exceptionally good. And honestly, I didn't find the Hulk guy too easy, but that's because I was dealing with range. I didn't know how to deal with it. But I was actually tempted to just suddenly change my guy to just deal with that one boss. Now it's exceptionally good, yes. I mean, I'm not so excited about this idea of them changing stuff during the contest. It's kind of... I understand that they do it. It's just a little bit weird. Because there's quite possibly bots in the bottom of the gold ranks that couldn't get by the silver rank now. And the same applies to silver and other ones. Because yesterday with this score... I mean, like, yesterday I'm pretty sure the spider boss was around, like, 27, even 26, even lower. And this is like some sort of... Does anybody actually know how this is calculated? It's something to do with wins minus losses, but I don't know what the exact value actually is here. Does anybody know what this value actually represents? I've always wanted to know that. It just seems like a win is worth something and a loss is worth something else. So, okay, this is where I've been sitting most of the day or so. For the past 3 hours, I've been sitting like this, just hoping it's true skill. Yeah, but what's the calculation? I don't understand. I don't know true skill or ELO rating. Like, oh, what is the actual... Hey, look! Look! Yay! Yay! We should be able to hold up there, I think. And we can thank Nkoyan for spotting the bug in my code. We'll assume it was that, not random spamming of submit. We'll assume it was that bug that got us there. And we just hope we stay up there, but it should be okay. If not, we can probably submit spam this one. But we have a gap. This is tight. I mean, we have a lot of battles to go, but usually we don't go down in the battles. Usually it just fluctuates, and getting up that high should be okay. So for those of you who were wondering, the bug was, as Nkoyan pointed out, is when I went through my if-pull thing, is I didn't check the distance. I checked distance everywhere else, but for some reason I just didn't check the distance of my pull. So I'd find the nearest hero, and my Doctor Strange would probably be trying to pull the guy from across the board, just wasting mana. And so now that gives them... By doing this, the change is that now is that I can serve a lot more mana, and I can do more healing, and I can do more pulls when they're important. So that would definitely make a difference in the score. Probably a lot more than this range difference I made down here from 50 to 75. But this also can make a big difference. But quite possibly also the submit spamming. We just get lucky. This guy... Okay, whoever Met Vesa is seems to just be better. What happened? He dropped so fast. He's probably doing pretty good, though. Alright, but we're 30. That gives us a solid lead here, so we should be okay. And this is actually what I was doing earlier in the day. See? I don't know if you guys can see that. This was my work, actually, from yesterday. I was fixing a bug in linear gradient drawing on .NET. Because somebody at Microsoft thought it was a great idea that in their limited API they wouldn't support clamped gradient drawing. And so I had to go through and patch up all our gradients to actually change the length of the stupid thing just so it filled the whole panel. We didn't need clamped. And so technically we're still drawing with repeating gradients when actually we want clamped ones. And so I did that yesterday. Lots of little math bits, and that was, yeah, that wasn't much fun. Oh, it was it wasn't that bad, but it was a lot of work for very little gain. Okay, but it looks like we're stable here. We're over 30. We've got more than one gap. It looks fairly strong. We just have to finish our battles. And I notice the battles are taking a very long time to finish in this competition. I don't know if that's just because it's complicated or it takes that long. So far, we've not had to worry about performance. All the stuff we're doing, even though Rust is, again, in debug mode, super slow, we're not doing any sort of lookups or evaluations. The only thing I do, which actually does like some sort of permutations. Yeah, like this is totally unfair. I mean, right now, because the boss just keeps going up in score. It's like so awful. Everybody that gets part way, and it's like all these people that get kind of part way or something, just keep propping up the score. Like met Vesta here at 29. 2 hours ago, the 29 would have enough. Like Galaho about this morning, if he would have submitted his bot this morning, he would have been fine. But what I'm hoping here is that when we do sneak by, if we sneak by, that we get a fairly big jump into the Gold League. And actually, it would be to our advantage if there was a Legendary League and the top of the Gold League got shifted over, because that would get us pretty far up, probably. Okay, so what was the thing? So, yeah, the only place I do permutations is, and it's not really permutations, I do an iteration, let's call it, in the strategy code. Where do I do it? It's down here in this prefer attack. If I have somebody I've chosen that I'd like to attack them and I'm out of range, these are the steps I do here, is because I found I've often, when I wanted to attack somebody, I'd walk right into a dangerous place and that would get me killed. So what I did is I said, well, if I'm not there yet, let's take the, and this is very standard vector stuff, we take the normal of the position, and I take the hero position, I take my movement speed, and I calculate how far I can go. I try the full distance. If that's not safe, you can see it is safe here. If that's not safe, then I try half the distance, then a quarter of the distance. And I could actually make this more, going from the full to half is not so good. I should actually make this more range, like 10% increments. And I see how far I can walk. This doesn't take into account their movement speed, but quite often the board is momentarily static, and so it at least takes into account their static units. A safe spot is, let me just check, I'm really nervous now that I'm here. Okay, we've still got that one lead. Come on, finish the battles off. Come on, come on, come on. We're almost there. Okay, so is safe is this super sketchy heuristic. Let's go through what is safe does. First I look up stuff. The first one is this cowardly strategy that we took us right from the wood leagues all the way to bronze. The one that Euler told us worked. We had something variant, but we just went down and reduced it. We just said basically keep somebody between us and the enemy. If there's somebody between us, if we don't have one of our units between us and the enemy, it's not safe here. What I did do is I added a buffer of 50, and I've been playing with this, and I said, look, we have to have that plus 50. And you notice most of the bots I've seen so far have this basic strategy. The vast majority of them do not go beyond their own units, except the ones that are melee, of course, but all the ranged ones just sit behind. And the melee ones tend not to make it as far, but there are some melee ones in gold I saw near the top. Okay, and then the next one, and then I checked this because even if we're safe, one of their units may have sneaked by somehow. This happens, or because we have circles, it's not linear. I find the nearest unit, and if I say I'm too close to him, I say if my position to the enemy is closer than the position to my own units, then I also say it's not a safe spot. Then I had some commented out stuff here, dealing with heroes, particularly Doctor Strange and Valkyrie. And then I also just checked the enemy hero. But these both had the problem forcing me too far away. I never got enough hits in, and even though it preserved my life, my units just got crumbled. I got no hits, I got no denies because I was too far away. And then is safe has one final condition basically saying if I'm within range of their tower, it's just not safe. Because you just get brutalized there. You just don't go within range of their tower. Because you just get hurt too badly. And so that's what it says there. And look, yeah, we got it! We got it! Woo! Yay! Yay! Promotion to Gold League! It's official. We're just waiting. We are better than the boss. In 57 seconds. Look, we can just watch it count down. Ah, nice golden things there. Yay! We can go to sleep now and relax. Now, my strategy has a lot of fine details because I've been tweaking lots of little bits of it and not a lot of major changes. And going to gold, I don't know if we have to do major changes. The first change I want to make is where the people go across here. They sit in the middle now, and I'm actually going to stagger them out because sitting right together is horrible because there are area effect spells that can damage us. So I'm going to spread them out, and that should help a lot. But I'm just going to count down my gold here when it reaches 10, just for the hell of it, because we never count down. Promotion in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! And now I want my little red bell. There we go. I like this momentarily here. Momentarily we're rank 1. It's awesome. When you go up a league, it momentarily doesn't update that, and so it looks incredible. You're like, wow, I went from like Silver League to number 1 in Gold League. This is awesome. But alas, it's not to be. Are there only 244 people in Gold League? Interesting. Alright, now let's just submit it and see where we are there. Or I think it automatically submits, but we might as well just go for it. And then I'm going to mark my... Legend. Thanks for Noctis. Thanks for stealing that. So gold is great, but legend is better, yeah? This will be our goal. This is our actual goal for the competition now, okay? By the time Sunday evening comes, we want to make sure we're in the Legendary League. Anybody know how high that means I have to be in gold? Obviously within the top 10 would be awesome, but is top 100 or is it going to be top 50? Or like, did they just create another boss and do as many people as possible sneak by? Or what's the initial, I don't know what the thing is here. And so we're not jumping up quite so fast here, and this would make sense because top 24, top 15. Alright. So we're going to have to do a lot of work, and chances are, when Legend comes, more than likely, not chances are, there's a 100% chance we will not be in that group of people that shifted over to Legendary. We're more than likely, we're going to have to fight the boss, whatever they leave behind for us. And so whatever boss is left behind for us, we're going to have to tune up and get past, and that's our only way into Legendary. We'll do as best as we can before then. When does Legendary open? Tomorrow. This is probably tomorrow evening. So tomorrow around this time, more than likely. So we'll see where we are by then. We are going up a little bit. And what I'm guessing is I'm passing a lot of people that managed to sneak by silver yesterday, before they had that awful boss. And we don't know how the hell we'll get here, though. But we'll see where that is. And what I wanted to do one thing first. So now that I have this, get status. I've been doing this religiously now because I've noticed that if I make a change, sometimes I don't know what I changed and I can't get back. So every time I do it, we get there. Gold entry. So now I have these compare points. If I have to go back and get, this is the whole idea of source control, I have compare points. And Religious all confirms tomorrow at 6, which I'm guessing is like really early in the morning for wherever this is hosted. That's like East Coast US or something. It's a good time for me to watch. Hey, we've actually made it up quite high in the rank. I mean, there's 232 people, but this isn't so bad. We're not like at the bottom or anything. But this is where it gets iffy that, you know, making minor changes can knock you down quite far. Or knock you a bit higher up in the ranks. And we're going to murder in this one. Hey, we beat a Hulk and Deadpool? How did we do that? That's who was just destroying me before. Weird. So we're still climbing. Only 18% of our battles. Interesting. This might be evidence that the silver boss is really hard. Where are we? 131 of... Have we passed the halfway? Not quite halfway mark. We have to get to 122 when we've passed the halfway mark. It's just nice to have the gold up there. What's the color is legendary? Ooh, red. I'd prefer it as purple. My favorite color is purple. But we'd go with red. The little skull is really nice too, you know. Continue. Okay. And... Hey, we've broken the halfway point! Interesting. Where does our bot actually get us? Maybe my tweaking, my endless tweaking actually brought something. So I was tweaking little things on silver the whole time. Maybe it helps something. 104. That's cool. I'm happy with that. Let's check out the leaderboard view. So the top is 37, and I'm at 22. Whoa, that's a big... Hey, but we broke the top... Yay, we broke the top 100 even! That's perfect! Who's at the top? Let's go to the guys at the top. What do we have? There we have our friend Hypnotoad. Where there's Shasal. Right at the top. Good to see you there. Great work. And who do we have else? Do we recognize anybody else here? Cow, Free Code, and Koyan. Great work, and Koyan. You can battle with Euler Shasal there. Come on, I want to see you guys get up there higher. You two, get up higher. Anybody else we recognize? So if you're on here and I don't recognize you, just shout it out and I can say your name too. It's fine. Algmir, we see you quite often. You're doing relatively well here too. Petrus, oh, you did make it up here. Good. And Anti-Squid, he was in the chat earlier talking about our tactics or my lack of tactics. Gilocat was also there. And he's the other Rust guy. Gilocat was complaining about Rust earlier, having same issues with his code as I with mine. Apparently he sat at it longer. He didn't get frustrated, just go out for something to eat like I did. So who else do we have doing Rust here? Not many. Not many. Oh, we dropped to 130. Oh, that's pointing towards we have to tweak stuff. Majava, do we follow you yet? I don't know. What a Mahava? Mayava. I love the names of J in them like this. It's like a million ways we can pronounce this, but we'll do following. He's at the master rank as well, so... You know, I never feel bad when people that are higher in the whole system than me are better in these games, so I'm okay with that. And who else do we have? Isaac. Isaac must have just snuck by. I think we're following him already. Yeah. Also up to the master rank. So, a lot of names we recognize here, and I don't know where I'm going to sit. It looks like around 100 here. We don't have that many, 40% done, but it looks like we're going to be sitting around 100. This means we're actually going to have to tweak strategy, which is to be expected. And we're going to look at that shortly, what we can actually do. But fortunately, I'm glad I actually went on the stream. I was planning on getting gold first, but I'm very happy I started the stream to go to gold. Because now I don't feel as though I actually have to accomplish anything today. I can just sort of play around and see where we get. And if I got to the top of the rush charts, that would be cool. Totally meaningless in terms of competition, because obviously the language here, because there's no permutations, no combinations, not going to make a big difference. Although, Oiler said he does actually scan for maximum damage in some of his skills. And that's something that would actually make sense. I was thinking of doing that before, looking for clustering, looking for opportunities for clustering and stuff. And that might be a minor tweak. Because a lot of these things, like Fireball, but this is a lot of calculation involved. Like when I shoot the Fireball, I just sort of shoot it towards one target. But because this hits things nearby, you could, with very minor adjustments, actually increase the damage significantly. Very small change in path or something. Changing your target from where you shoot from very slightly. There's a lot of small things, and I'm guessing some of the guys at the top are actually doing some of these small things like this, and this just involves. But this is actually, yeah, because I think that I only attack one. You're just trying to hide your secret, spoiler. There, I mean, you're not letting us know. You built the whole you translated the whole referee though, right? So you have the entire referee code, so you can calculate the costs or the success rate of any of your moves, I think, can't you? Or are you just you're just misleading people in chat? But yeah, Regnakis, you have a very good point there, that without any tweaks, we've made it past the 50% mark in gold, which means that silver boss is really hard. I mean, like, if the top 25 of these people so go away to legendary, that almost gets us to 50 without having done anything since silver. And you check for, okay, I'm checking for last hits always as well. What I'm uncertain with last hits is we can look at my last hit code, and I noticed I did something that made a difference here. I have an if deny. I don't actually look for last hits, which is probably bad. I just look for denies. I don't look for last hits, which is really kind of stupid. It's something I should add. But my if deny, I added something here. My if deny is when you're looking for your own units to kill. And two things. I made an error here. I'll tell you the error here later. I started checking this. If we're within our own tower range, I stop killing my own people. Now, I let the other opponent have the point for it, and the reason I did this is because this is a much-needed buffer. So this buffer zone prevents them from getting too close and ganging up my heroes, so it gives my heroes a chance to sort of regroup and let the hero and my tower do more damage to them. So basically, I do not ever kill my own units near my tower. And this, because it's a much-needed buffer. Now, the other thing is right here, there's attack damage. I noticed that I'm looking at the static damage, and this is wrong. And I actually built a function which gives me the correct damage I do. Because if you have items, right here, hero damage, I have hero damage, you take both that attack damage and the sum of all your item damages, and you can actually kill things quicker this way. This makes a huge difference in the strategy, and this is where it got really weird initially, because when you kill the other units, then you walk forward, and this is why I have all these checks for not being too close to the enemy tower, because when you get to walk forward, and so are they? So edA-qa is now saying that the attack damage is included in my attack damage, but I was positive they weren't. I thought I checked, but if you're saying that, then I can remove this. So, I'm going to put comments here so I know who to, go after. Says this is not necessary. Regnakis confirms. Yeah, Oiler saw. I haven't even considered such things like that. My heroes, other than the healing, do not cooperate. They just go about doing their own thing. And only when the one guy wants to heal do they come together and heal each other. Alright, so let's look for hero damage and get rid of this. I have never done a search and replace in this tool yet. How do you search? Find in files? Well, that's not a very helpful menu item. This is like QA testing 101. Go through the menu items and make sure they do something. Come on. I have a good idea where it's used though. There's a search here. And Coin, yes, I was thinking about that as well. You're absolutely correct, because you can't attack your own units if they have greater than 40%. I'll check that as well. So let's find hero damage. Apparently we don't need this. No results found. Wonderful. Files to include. Wow, this is a really shitty search feature. Did whoever write this even do search and replace in their code? I mean, come on. Files to include. Start.rs. Search again in all files. It's not even in the right directory. How do you know what directory it's in? Well, we see right here, hero damage. It's got to find at least one. I spelt it wrong. That might help. There's one. Huh. I don't even use it anymore. So I wrote this. Yeah, thanks. Right, I saw that, yeah. So I wrote this function, and I intended to use it, and now I don't use it, but I don't actually trust the search and replace either. So we'll find out. Let's go back. Let's see where we are. Let's see where we are. No, okay, we're sitting at the 100 range, so we're not probably going to get much higher than that. But we have actual fixes. If find deny, that's over in strategy. Now, a bit about my organization and my code. I don't like the way it's organized. I would like to have a lot of these functions in the same place, and what I started doing is I started just sticking everything in strategy RS. At first, I was sticking things relatively like in player and the strategies and state, but this borrowing in Rust basically kills that idea. So now what I have is a strategy RS that tries to just do everything in one file. It simplifies it, because every time you abstract something to another file, you have to go put it in lib, then you have to put the use statements and stuff. There is a lot of overhead to refactor things into files in Rust. It's unfortunate, and I'm overloading this file. There's a lot of problems with sticking stuff inside structures, so free functions seem to be preferred, and it's not necessarily the way I optimally want to organize it. Okay, so we need one more condition here. We have to say unit.health is less than unit.max health times 4 divided by 10. Don't blame me. Otherwise, I convert this all to floating point, then convert back, because there's no implicit conversion. And this actually bugs me about safety. This bugs me a lot about safety, that you can do stuff like this and it doesn't complain. Right? You can do 4 times 10 in brackets and you get no error here. Now in my mind, this is actually this is a type safety issue. For all the borrowing saved me, it's this type of error that screwed up my code a lot in the past, is you accidentally have integer division. An accidental integer division like this is awful. So this is 0, of course, but if you take off these brackets, you have a totally different result. And in my opinion, this is a type safety issue. More important than some of the borrowing issues, but I can't fix that. So hopefully that's correct. So this would mean we don't attack anybody that we can't attack yet. Will that make a difference in our score? Is it enough to submit? Who knows? Again, we probably have submit randomness here. Where are we? Are we still moving? So we're done. So we can submit a new one here now. Let's go submit a new one. And the only thing we really changed, did we change anything else? Git diff. And sorry, my git diff brings up this thing, meld, and which meld is great, except the stupid thing brings it up for one file at a time. Right? Because watch, you can get the next file then. I'd rather just go back to the other diff. Alright, so that's the only thing we've changed. So let's submit that and see what happens if that actually makes a difference. That would be 1 extra attack. And I fixed that a lot. My opportunity attacks, like I said, I never move anymore. All of my moves now, or they're supposed to, I can't guarantee I don't have defogs. All of my moves are always combined with an attack now. Even if there's no enemy in range, I pick the closest guy and attack him just in case he happens to walk towards me. And so I'm taking a lot of opportunity attacks. And so by getting that 1 extra attack, and this one here is going to get 1 extra attack, it can actually make a difference. We're not playing with huge differences in range here in like rankings. But the next one I was going to do is, if we look at this thing here, let me maximize one. Is there one where people aren't dying quickly? There we go. Here's one. The one thing I want to do is exactly what this guy's doing, or he was doing. My guys are centered here right now, but what I want to do is I want to space them out on the board so they have a preferred location where they go, because when they're grouped together, Fireball hits them both, and Burning would hit them both. Not that anybody uses Burning as far as I can tell. People just use Fireball. I mean, the Gold League looks like it's just a combination of Iron Man versus Doctor Strange. Does anybody know of anybody using something other than that? Iron Man and Doctor Strange? So, I mean, we're super conservative right here, and this may be our downfall here. But you notice his heroes do not come within my attack power range. They just don't. And my Doctor Strange died, so they're probably targeting him. Oh wait, no, I'm red. But I'm second. Well, what do I fuck up here? Okay, we gotta watch this one to the end. How do I die at the end? I'm doing so well here. How do I screw up at the end? So Doctor Strange waits. This is fine. He's supposed to be buying health potions. Apparently that code doesn't work. No, I just did. I just bought a health potion. Good. He's supposed to be healing now. Why is he not healing? He's supposed to be healing Iron Man. He never healed Iron Man, unless the Iron Man just took too much damage. We can check the replay and see if he actually just took too much damage and I couldn't heal him fast enough. How does Strange die here, though? And his strategy, this guy's strategy is focused on deny. You can see his deny score at the bottom here is the 13 down there, 15. He's getting lots of deny kills. And so that must be getting him lots of gold. And so I run away here now. And I don't get any more gold, but this is my strategy. So in case you're close to the end, not to just die right at the end. And we're really close to the end. And okay, I need to catch all. I'm waiting for my mana to be really high before I heal. edA-qa. Okay, so if you saw that end, I'm going to check edA-qa. What I saw at the end is I made a mistake. On Strange here, my if heal, I have some error here. Because he should have been healing. I don't wait for it to be full, so why is he not healing? If run away. I bet it's if run away, to be honest. If run away. Yeah. If I'm already at this position, I should stop running. So that's stupid here. So if runaway has to change. Let me fix that. So we're going to do this first. We're going to do, this is going to be norm. We'll call it unit, so it's a unit vector, so it's clear. Unit vector. And then the offset is going to be our tower position. Here, dot position. I've completed all these overrides for points as well, so at least we have normal syntax. I added a few more of them. If offset dot, and I've forgotten what length is called. Length, yeah, length is, let's just say less than 1. It's a good epsilon here. Then we return none. Then we've done nothing. We're not running. But we don't attack any. But this will catch it, so at least our running, we don't run away. If our health is too low, we stop running away. Actually, we had it right up here. Actually, the condition up here is actually right there. So let's do the exact same thing down here. I'm duplicating the code. And what that really means is that actually up here, we should put it up here. Stop running when we're at the tower. And I put close enough to the tower. I mean, I should make it even closer. I don't know. We'll see. And what do they do here? Run, otherwise... Okay, this is a little bit confusing now, the logic, but... Our tower is supposed to be up there. Okay, so that'll at least make... That might have actually fixed this battle right here. Was it this one here? No, where was it? Oh, I've lost that battle now. I want to go back to it. See, but this time we're not going anywhere in the ranks. And this is where it gets weird. Do we just get lucky the first time? Or what's happened this time? Did I make a mistake? Is the pull thing, did we somehow screw that up? Let's just submit this. Okay, let's delete this. And we have... edA-qa 10. Can we... There we go. Let's check how we do against this guy. Who's in 72nd. Oh, he's got one of those guys. They're just going to run in and bash me, and they go and kill those guys, which gives them lots of gold. And then they just come and kill us. And I have no defense against such things. And this is just awful. I just don't know how to defend against... Oh, so he goes and kills Groot. Then buys silver stuff. And then just runs in and kills my heroes. I can hard code a strategy against Hulk and Deadpool. If Hulk and Deadpool are nearby, just run away to the tower. That's perhaps a good option. You can do that? I've never thought of doing that. Let's see what happens. Why is my rank so far down now? We're at 100. So he goes to the safety of his base. Exactly what I just said. Hey, KMS. Yeah, so that's exactly what it is. Exactly what we just said. I'm guessing it's if you see Hulk or Deadpool, just run to your base. But you notice this first guy also has the idea that he never actually he avoids going on the base itself, and that makes a lot of sense. And he goes to the side so you can attack both the base and them at the same time. And I guess going to the top also gives you better coverage of the screen because there's more stuff there. Alright, so basically if you have Hulk and Deadpool, you just run away from them. Yeah, IKFS, we made it to gold. That was just about a half hour ago. And we actually made it up to rank 100 in gold, and we don't know what we did since then. What did we change? This is getting annoying with this. There we go. The bush. Yeah, that's right. Oyster, there is a purpose to that. The bush makes you invisible. That's the purpose. So somebody is using that. Can you still be attacked when you're invisible? No, local uncommitted. What have I changed? Okay, so I don't attack our own units. 1 second, I just got to get the door here. Alright, so some guy that wasn't actually at the door for me. I actually hate people who do that. They ring the door, they just ring all the buzzers just to be let into the building. Kind of dickheads. Fireball still hit. But there's still, can you actually, you can't just attack that unit though. It still has to be area damage, like you can't just specifically target them and hit them. Okay, so what else I changed? Stop running when we're at the tower. I added that. That's all I changed. So there's a lot of randomness here in the ranks. No attack ID, but the ID doesn't change though. What if you just remembered the ID from before and you just kept attacking it? Or does the ID change every round? So let's put us back here. Whatever. Okay, good. So bushes have a purpose, and we're going to use the same purpose of bushes. We're going to change runaway in general. First of all, we're going to change runaway. Oh wait, but this is hard because if we just go into a bush and keep attacking, people can keep seeing us, can't they? So we really need like an if in danger. Alright, so I don't know what happened now, why we're sort of stuck here. We weren't stuck there before. We made that very minimal change. Well, it looks like that's popular. Okay, IKS, my, hey, just a second. Do I just keep, okay, I keep losing against that one guy a lot. Okay, so we need to have a melee strategy because it looks like I'm just getting hammered by the melee guys. Alright, IKFS, inventory logic is very simple. I track it, I buy 3 items, and I stop buying them. I buy a potion sometimes. I make no attempts to upgrade yet. And I don't know if it's worthwhile because I never seem to have enough gold and I use the money to get potions. Okay, but we need a melee strategy now. What do we have for melee? If runaway. We're going to do this one. We're going to say return some. They're both going to do it. Return some Actually, no, I'm going to make a second one. I'm going to make a cowardly one. Public function if run from danger. I don't know how to distinguish these things. It's like run away, and if run from danger, we have a hero and a unit and a state with an end state. Oh man, come on, turn. Okay, and I'm going to go stick this in strange. These are the ones we're going to put it. This is going to be the highest value one, or after healing potion. How much do healing potions heal again? I gotta check that first. It could be varied. Chances are running away is going to be better. So return some if run in danger. If run from danger. Okay. I'm just going to assume that a healing potion is not as important as running away from getting pummeled from the Valkyrie and Hulk, because they do damage pretty fast. So we're just going to try to run away first. If run from danger, our hero from a state. Just for those that haven't seen this yet, this return sum is a macro over in lib, which has greatly simplified some things. It's cleaned up the code. We have this edA-qa, which is making up for the missing Rust question feature on option. This is actually added to Rust, but not available in our version yet. This return sum is very similar. It basically says if a value evaluates to something in an optional, then return it. And what that lets us do is these things here, return sum, is we build these little tactics and then just pile them together here and just call return sum without having to do the if statement the whole time. And we're going to copy this one over to strat wimpy. And again, strat wimpy is really my strat Iron Man now, and it should actually be renamed. If run from danger. There we go. I guess, but I'm trying to return something at that point. Right? So the flow here is I'm not trying to get a value or, I'm really just trying to return from this function. So get turn returns a turn, and I'm saying if run from danger produces a turn, then just exit now. Otherwise go to the next step or next step or next step. Alright, so now we have to implement melee stretch, run from danger, and we're really just going to say we're going to iterate through the heroes, and I do that somewhere here in a comment right here. Oh, I did it up there. Okay, we're going to iterate over the heroes. Where did I'm lost in the code again. Run from danger right there. Okay. This iter heroes function, I don't know if anybody saw my tweet today on this. This is not pretty. All I want to do is have a function that filters and iterates heroes. IKFS, it only works for result in this version. It doesn't work for option. They've added support for option later in question mark, but we added the edA-qa because question mark's not supported yet in this version. But that's exactly what edA-qa is the question mark operator, which has been since extended to include option, but right now it only includes result. Okay, so this iter heroes, this is over in player. I made a post about this today because I couldn't believe the syntax. If you want to return an iterator, that's just this code right here. You have this lovely thing over here. So this is not pleasant, and there's no way I'm ever going to remember to type this, which is very unfortunate. You both have to box it up, you get indirect iterator, and you have to have the lifetime markers, and you have to say iterator item equals. It's not just a normal template, you have to say item equals, and I have no idea what this plus actually does, except for knowing it doesn't work without it. I just saw it from a random example and added it in there, and it seemed to work. This is not a pleasant syntax, and all it does is you can't implement traits yet. In a future version of Rust, you can apparently do an impl iterator here, but that is not supported now. And the guys on Twitter confirm that the Rust guys confirmed that this is what it should look like right now. So we have that. We're just going to deal with that. Okay. So we're going to check something. We're going to say in range, hero.position distance to... Oh, we're going to have our hero. Our hero and e-hero. E-hero position distance to our hero.position is less than e-hero.movement speed. That means you're in range. If they're not in range, then continue. We can enter this stuff. Okay, if the hero type is... What do we want to worry about? Deadpool? He's a problem. And Hulk. Valkyrie tends to cause problems, but he's still ranged. He's not the one actually doing the damage. Thank you very much. Plus e-hero.attack range. Make sure they can't get at us. Okay. Guess we don't really need to match that here. We can just say... No, we'll just do the match anyways. So we have this somehow. Headpool and Hulk, and otherwise... We could probably just do this. I think you could do an or hero type Hulk. What do we want to do? Otherwise... Yeah, then we're actually in danger. In danger equals true. And there should probably actually make an is danger function, an if run from danger, but this should be fun now. Danger equals false. If not in danger, return none. We don't want to do anything then. This is not anything. Otherwise, what do we want to do? We want to run... Let's first off just run to the tower, and we'll run to bushes later. And I have a runaway function. Where is it in player, maybe? Return to tower. State.us.return to tower. We'll just return that. So this is a very minor adjustment. If we're in danger, we return to our tower. Always. Just always. And then we'll worry about hiding in the bush afterwards to see what happens with this first. Match enemy hero type. If run from danger, return some. That's here. If run from danger, our hero. Strange is also our hero. I don't know why I just wrote our. Check that out. Oh yeah, that's there's no, this is, working with optionals is kind of annoying. You always have to wrap them. It's unfortunate. I wish you didn't have to wrap them. It's like one of those things, if I return something into an optional, I just expect it to be come an optional. Alright, so we're fighting this edA-qa guy. Let's see if we do any better now. No, why did you do that? Stop that. Me. Me. Yeah. Just waiting for it to run now. So I'm going to play edA-qa. Well, we beat him now. Here we go. We're going to watch what happens. So we'll see we go this guy, and then we probably just run away. We run away when we're in danger. One of our guys is killed. But his guy is killed first. Wow, that's pretty tight. We might need to run to the trees here because we get burnt pretty badly there. Like, that's really tight. But it was enough to get rid of him. So we might have to tweak that. But that might get us further because we're getting pummeled by them. Yeah, we're right in the tower. I just keep running. That's just an animation IKFS. As long as you keep returning, as long as you, it looks like as long as you do a move operation, it shows the running animation. Even if you're running to the place you're currently on, it just shows the running animation, because I don't think they're really. It's really just, they just show the animation. I don't think the animation is actually timed to how far you move. I think they just play a canned animation on move, and then wherever you are, you are. And that's pretty tight. And it's because they attacked the group first is why they died. So we could probably submit this and see what happens. I can't. No, you're absolutely correct, and I used to do that. The reason why I'm not doing it here, let me explain why I'm not actually doing it there, is because I was assuming I'm going to go into a bush. I was assuming I was going to go to a bush, because then in the bush I shouldn't attack because I'm just defending myself. But otherwise, yes, if I'm actually not going to go into a bush, I should keep attacking. And this is actually what I changed before. I mentioned that in the strategy before, is that in the rest of this strategy, I do not do moves anymore. I only ever do move attack. So this is probably the last place that still does move, and I just added it back. So every other place I did a move attack just because, hey, you know, you might as well attack then. And I wonder if actually, yeah, so this is probably the last place that does move. And if I'm going to move to a bush, though, then I shouldn't attack because that'll make me visible. Well, let's try this first. Let's just try this the way it is with that flex. I mean, either I go to a bush or I keep attacking, and we have to do one of these things. And then I would have killed him a lot faster. He would have died a lot faster had I kept attacking. So, and what is he attacking with here? Oh, so they have the melee thing. We run away. And yeah, so exactly for this case here, if we would have attacked, we might have won that exact one. Let's find out. And we'll do that right away. That's in strategy. And what do we do? Move attack. So I have this move attack function that actually does this already. And actually, do they have I thought I had one anyways. Well, let's create another one that does something else called move. Move opportunity attack. State position here, and I just won't have a target now. And I'll just do the second bit here. And so to return to tower, I'm going to do some move up attack. Whatever my parameters were there. State point hero. State. And then I need a tower position. I'm going to have to find that. Here, it's right there. Our tower dot position, and our hero is our hero. Hello, Vangarioth. We're improving our heroes now to deal with melee strategies. So we're on a melee strategy and we're getting kicked on it. So if we did this right, unused variable hero, well, that's disappointing. That makes sense. Doesn't need it. If we did this right, we should win this one if I replay this in the same conditions and beat Magas here. Well, we don't beat Magus, so we're still doing something wrong. We still attack, but it's not enough. And so this is the exact same problem I had before, is that we just can't beat the melee guys. We're screwed. We have to go to the bush. So we're going to find the bush. Let's find a bush to go to and hide. Hide like little cowards. Now let's find out how the bushes work. Do I have to stop moving, or do I just have to be inside them? I don't know. Well, I am inside tower range. All right, so I lose the visibility if the enemy moves in there as well. Let's check out their stats. So Deadpool has a speed of 200. Hulk has 200. Iron Man has 200. Doctor Strange, just everybody has 200. Everybody has a move speed of 200, so I can't run away from them. There's nothing I can do. But we might be doing better, so we should hightail it for a bush. And those are neutral units, I think. So, what type do they have? Bushes are a special one. Okay, bushes. IKFS, there are things that do speed and stuff, but because you take the turn to consume them, you're just going to get smashed. In the attempt to heal, your healing doesn't do enough to prevent you from just getting destroyed by the Hulk. You either have to kill the Hulk or hide from him. I just found no way to just run away from him. There's just nothing you can do, it seems. Unless I detect him running towards me and run around the board, but that's going to be hard to do. But at least my guy should split up. Hey, that's right, I have a blink. I've never used blink before. How far can blink move? $200, so it's one turn. So I can jump. Uh-huh. But you don't move any faster, so okay. So anytime I move, I might as well cast Blink, because that's what the spell looks like. Anytime Iron Man wants to move, he might as well cast Blink, because he gains mana from it. Does that sound about correct? Anytime I want to move, unless I want to attack something? That would make sense. And then I can gain mana. Will it? Yeah, I can't. That's of course the cooldown, but as long as I don't, as long as I can use it, it doesn't seem to be any loss. I mean, as long as I can't attack anything, will this buy me any advantage, or should I go hide in the bush first? Because Iron Man doesn't. Yeah, I might as well. This is okay. Now this is where my structure of the code breaks down a little bit. This run from danger does something different based on what hero type I have. And this is where I can't really say I have Euro units. Actually, I could here. I do have something here. If our hero type. equals hero type, Iron Man. And our hero.mana. I guess we still need mana, just in case, so I don't do nothing, is greater than... And how do I get this? Ah, shit, now we need the descriptions. This is where the messes of the structure, because I can't pass references around. I don't actually know what hero this is right now. So I'm going to just hack it. I'm just going to hard code it .now. It's greater than 16. This is not what I want to do, but the structure is really hard to adjust at the moment to get it somewhere cleaner. Mana cost. And yeah, because I don't... Ah, shit. I destroy computers. Nice to meet you again. Alright, so I have a problem here in my structure. Now, let me explain this. There's that... And this is partly due to this game, the way the game's presented, and a lot to do with the way Rust doesn't let me modify things. Is the player has the hero IDs. This function here, if run from danger, it takes a unit. This unit is the hero unit in the game. At this point, I actually don't know whether that's hero 0 or 1 for us, so I can't associate this with like the things like cooldown. I actually need to figure out what cooldown I'm supposed to apply, what cooldown, what skills that is. So what I'm going to have to do here is in the state.players, I'm going to have to actually look up a hero by ID, which I think I have. I get hero ID, and I must have find ID unit. Okay, so I can find ID unit, and this has to exist. So I'm just going to look them up. And again, I'm not concerned about performance here. This is pretty bad to look them up in this fashion, but I don't care. So we're down here. We're actually going to say let hero index equal... No, I want to find... Yeah, I am. Well, it's not a matter of the strategy. I need to get to it. So what do I have? I want the strategy. I want the player index. Well, I need to get player index. Okay. Hub function get hero index. And self of, let's just go ID. ID, right, 32. And we'll just assume this exists. For ID in self.heroIDs.iter. Enumerate. Again, this is the proper Rust way, I guess. I think it's kind of weird though. Index, comma ID. There's probably a find by as well. Find by, but if ID equals ID, well, I better do that one. Hero ID. Hero ID. Return index. Panic. Nope. So get hero index state.us.get hero index of our hero.id. Well, this find doesn't. My find isn't. Get hero index, I mean find. Not if I enumerate it. If I enumerate it, then it'll find whatever I put the indexes in. because enumerate creates it. So in theory, let me just patch this up. Okay, let's do it that way. Let's just do self.heroes.enumerate.find and index, comma ID. Vigario, from what I hear, you're going to have to use ref cell and RC to do that stuff. You have to use proper shared objects. Don't attempt to do it with lifetimes. ID equals hero ID. Dot unwrap dot what? 0? Is this correct? Oh man. The first field of index unwrap fields. I don't know. We're going to find out. I've given up this RLS. I might as well uninstall it. RLS just doesn't work anymore. I don't know why. It just doesn't work. Alright, so our hero index. We have a hero index, and now I can actually do... and self.us.heroes. What do I have? Ah, fine. That one makes sense. Where are my countdowns? I don't even know where my countdown's stored anymore. Yeah, let's see. Is there any? How do I reinstall RLS? I don't remember how I did any of that. If you know what to do, I can try it again. Positions. So position sounds good. I'm getting sidetracked here, but okay. Where was player? I don't think I need this. You know, I don't need this. I've recalled I don't think I need this right now. Let's just skip it all. Well, in this case, I would need panic or unwrap because I have to return a value. Bad beef. What's pretty weak? I realize now I actually have the values I need. I think they're actually on here. Our hero countdown. Yeah, they're right there. And I had constants for this somewhere. I thought. So I'm just going to hard code it for a moment. It's Iron Man is blank 0. I believe I do use Rust Up. But I did not install it via this. I installed it in here. I installed it in the editor itself somehow. Preference. Yeah, well, the editor did it, so let's try and do it through the editor again. Actually, let's come back to that. So let's just finish this off first. I'm just going to 0 for now. I'm just hard coding this and I'll patch this up later. So for Iron Man and our hero is greater than that, then we just do this instead. Just take it run in the background. Don't necessarily want to know if we update everything, because we might have a Rust version that's not supported on the server then. We just have to be aware of that. Some. Now we should actually check if we're at the tower here. We should start attacking that as well. Kuroskara, I've tried them before. I haven't used them very long, to be honest. I just did little things in things like Haskell. I actually think I did more OCaml. I don't remember which one. I think it was OCaml. I just tried simple things. I never did too much with them. Yeah, okay, so what do I want to do? I want to do turn, skill target. This is blink. Our tower dot position. Now I have to wait for that to finish to go. Oh, that didn't take long. RLS preview is part of it. Oh, it's IRS preview. That's maybe the issue. And yeah, this has to be cleaned up, these hard-coded values. I don't do this in other places. I actually have the hero descriptions. I don't know why I don't have it here. That's correct. Clone. Don't need hero index. Now what's its problem? Expected struct found string, so just do an into. This is why I had these all scratched out. I mean, I actually have these hero descriptions here. It's just, and I have all this stuff in it, and I had the skills. I just don't know. I'm just not sure where it is right now. Once I just want to see if this works, and then I'll clean it up. All right, that did something, but look, we moved up a bit. So our little melee thing probably made us more stable. Probably. Let's try fighting this guy with my blinking. Blinking, we're not expecting to make a huge difference here because now he's not attacking. But let's see if he actually blinks. Was there a blink in there anywhere? I just paused this. Did we blink? Well, I should probably stop pulling when we're at the tower. But I won! Weird. That actually made me win. How? That's screwy. Well, let's submit it then. Why not? Let's submit this. I'll leave that open, and I'll take a quick break to get some more water and stuff, but we can watch what happens here with that. Alright, what are we... Whoa, it's looking okay. What do you mean, we were at 63 and I missed it? Alright, so we have some tweaking work. But we do get some places, it looks like. That's good. We're not hopeless. Let me clean up that mess I made first of all. So what I mean is in the Strat Wimpy, when we're using skills here, we can actually grab the skill self.hero descriptions. And it's because at this point we actually have the strategy, and the strategy has the hero, this actual strategy object, but these generic strategy bits don't have the hero description. And this is kind of where I'm having this mess in Rust. I don't know how to link these. Any attempt to link things together creates these links that it doesn't like. So I can't really do that. And the only other option here is to pass down our hero description as well. And so we'll just do this as well, hero description. That's not terrible, but I keep seeing this pattern of passing the same things down again and again and again and again. And where is that here? So if run from danger, we're going to actually have to say our hero description as well. Self.hero description. Now the option to clean this up would actually be on every turn is update the state so that the hero descriptions has a link to the hero. But again, the moment you create these links, it gets mad at you because you can't modify them. So it's kind of a pain. If run from danger, let's do self.hero description. So we have the hero descriptor or description and the hero object. This is the unit type that comes from the game world, the state, and the hero descriptions are stuff that says the static stuff like their skills and stuff. And these kind of have to be combined together. And it's partly how the state of the game works and partly not. I could clean it up. It's a lot of work to clean this up though. So we have a hero description, because now what I can do is I can say, if we're Iron Man, and I thought I had skill here somewhere. I had constants here somewhere. Well, let's just add them. Constant skill blink. Use size equals 0. Constant skill. I have them for the other ones somewhere. Use size equals 0. Constant skill. That should be 1 though, not 0. Burning. Use size equals 2, and this should be 1. And for strategy, we have point state, and this should also be use hero description star. And now we can get rid of that stuff down there, wherever it was. So if it's Iron Man, then we can do this stuff. We're also going to say let's skill blink equal hero description dot skills skill blink, and this has to be a reference to it. So now we can get rid of this. Now we can say skill blink dot mana cost, and this is also here skill blink. But we still have to have this type for Iron Man, because otherwise we're just going to check some other random skill. Okay, but we still have to do the check here basically if we're already at the tower. What do we want to go to? We want to go to let target equal our tower dot position. And we'll now check it right here. Move up attack. And if we're not already at the tower, and our hero dot distance to target is less than 1 or greater than 1. Okay. Right. I hope that makes sense. I have a lot of logic like this coded in this strategy, and I keep wondering about this. We have a lot of this type of logic coded in here, and it kind of repeats but never quite repeats. And so the heuristics, this expert type system has these limitations as endless things. If use hero description, I thought I did use hero description star. I did use hero description star. Why can't it find it? Huh? I'm not quite understanding that one. And that one I got, that's fine. Our hero dot position dot distance 2. Right, skill blink, skill blink. What's the last one? F64. Whatever. Why can't it find skill blink? Use hero description skill blink. Does he have to be public? Okay, so the error message just wasn't very correct. The error message was a bit wrong. Hey, we're at 100, so a bit more stable now. It looks like. And let's submit this code and see what happens. What did we change? Did I change anything? Oh yeah, I just said if we're at the tower to start attacking. The next option will obviously be in the bush. Back to 206, dropped. So that was a nice shot of the fireball from across the screen. Jumped to 133, which looks good. So whoever this guy is, his bots didn't do much. Probably ran for dinner. Got stuck in the middle of it. So we're doing okay there. We're going to look at the ones we lose then. Another first one. Sorry, another first one and we dropped the 140. So obviously there's one we lost in here. Let's show the one we lost. We die at 136. What are we doing wrong that we die here? We're going to have to closely investigate this one. We're evenly matched there. And we're backing up to our tower. How do we die now? So I got Iron Man killed. Why? Because I'm not considering the danger of the heroes. This is kind of an issue. Let's find another one if there's a more obvious way we can feel. Because I know why we don't. I know why I get pummeled by these guys here. And it shouldn't be that bad, though. So we win quite a few of them. There's not that many losses here to consider. Let's see how we lost this one. Well, one of my guys dies really early. That's bad. Oh, but in the end we lose because I don't have enough kills. Curious. So that's a bit harder there to figure that one out, why we're not killing anything. So there's probably a curve in these bots here that around 0.100 they start getting a lot more difficult, a lot better. And of course, if there's no legendary league, you'd expect that you start having people piling in above the 100 mark, especially as you got to 50. And we're not up there, and it's probably like a little exponential curve for level of difficulty. Especially if you have the people at the top fighting, they'll knock everything down. So if you check the actual leaderboard, there should be some pretty big gaps here. So 37 down to 1, and there's a massive gap here. Wow. Between Gazan and Razio War, between 3rd and 4th place, there's a massive 3-point gap. And like already down to 10th position, there's a 6-point gap from the lead. So this is really an exponential curve. Down where we're at, it's still going, it's more like kind of linear at that point. And still dropping, but it's fluctuating enough that any win or loss is going to jump you down quite a bit. It's going to knock you around. Actual point gain should give you good boosts. So we need to get a few more wins here. I don't know if this is now a matter of tweaking strategy or a fundamentally new approach or something. It doesn't look like we need a fundamentally new approach. Okay, here's one where we ran away and we lost. So I think we're going to have to go for the bushes approach. Let's do the bushes approach instead. So we had this one here. Which one did we lose? Not that one. This one. Not that one. It's really hard to click through and figure out which one we watched just recently. I want like a filter saying, can you show me the ones that had like a Hulk and stuff? There's one. Did we lose? We lost that one. So let's run those parameters instead. Let's work on one of those. So 89 is a 1-point jump. That would actually get us, if we won the next one, we'd probably jump up to 70 or something. There's still a lot of randomness in the output thing, but we died on this one. But it was super close. You notice it was super close. He didn't have much health left. So let's do the hiding approach. The difficulty with hiding is that now I have to search for the nearest bush. We really only have to search for it at the start of the game, though. Which bush is nearest to the tower? How do I want to do that? We'll do it the inefficient way first. Actually, let's check to make sure I didn't make any mistakes first. It's going to be good to review these things. That there's no warnings about something we did wrong. Blink, move attack, move attack, move attack. And this guy's still using attack nearest, so he hasn't done that manually, which is kind of depressing then that I do all this stuff and he's just doing attack nearest. Yeah, this strategy kind of sucks. Daisy-o. So he just does attack nearest mainly. So we have to find a defender. We can't defend against that. We just can't defend against it, these two. Doesn't matter that we're in range of our tower, we just can't defend against this. Can't attack unit 13. This is weird. Don't know why, but we were pretty much dead at that point anyways. Alright, let's do that. We suggest play against Gassen and see how he beats him. No, stupid thing. I'd prefer not to hide, because the moment you hide, you can't attack anymore. He splits up and his one guy runs. I mean, I know what strategy I want to do, but there's a very limiting factor, because what I'd really like to do is I like to run towards our tower, and when they chase me, they don't like to run back to our crowd of people, because then when they attack me, all those guys will fight them and then run away, an issue we have so far yet, I don't know if you see the structure of the game, you notice I don't have any memory in the game yet. I don't remember what I did last turn. I don't remember, there's no, every single move I make in this game is decided on that single turn. There's no history, there's nothing like that. There's nothing that decides, except from the game provided cooldown of skills. We don't have this accumulation of like strategy. We can't do more than single turn tactics with the current structure I have, which makes it kind of limited there. So if running there, how do we want to run? What I could do is just run in random directions away from that person then. But not towards the other tower. How would I do that? So when they're close to me, just run away from them. How would that work? So delete this. So apparently it's a popular strategy, just this one. And it used to be the silver player boss, so there must be an easy way to beat it. And all those guys that got through silver fighting against this boss basically know how to beat that. This stupid replay same conditions, it's not what I mean. I mean, take this guy and play it. Okay. We'll see how much further we get today. I'm not going to stay on too long today. We got to gold, and we got to 100, which I'm actually quite happy with. I was not actually expecting that. Now, actually, there's a good point is I should actually never stop moving because he has to predict where I go then. And he can try and follow me. And how can I do that then? I can do another searching one here. Just search for one that gets me randomly further away from them. And just mess it up. Just go randomly away from the guys if it's a safe position. How do I do that though? Do I have a rotate command? I can learn some new commands in Rust. Well, let's do it that way. Let's run to a random location and see if that happens. See if that helps. But I don't really mean random. Actually, maybe we'll optimize it. Maybe not even random. Let's just run to the location that's furthest away. Yeah, counterbalance, that was always my fear. You don't gain any distance. But what? Let's try hiding. Let's see how far we get with hiding. Let's do the hiding thing. But if he actually runs right into the bush with us, he's just going to see us and destroy us anyways. But we could keep distance on because we have this Deadpool Hero Hulk right here. We could actually check and say, look, the moment they're within 2 times their move speed from us, we start running. And we run the place that gets us furthest away from them. And that would actually buy us a lot of time. But in that time, absolutely nothing's, we're going to gain nothing from that. Which really kind of sucks. So, bushes it is. Instead of find first unit, we want to do find state close to bush. Let target equals state. dot find bush nearest our tower dot position, and we'll just go there. But then we actually have to do this. Instead of doing this, we're just going to move there some. Alright, just a second, I have a door again. Maybe somebody actually for me this time. Okay, let's get the bush working, so at least we can compare what happens there. So instead of up attack, this is not for bush. We're just going to do turn move, because we need to stop attacking once we're in that bush. Of course, once we're there, we could heal and stuff. Yeah, that's a good point. You can do everything other than attacking. But I don't. My strategy is such that I'm just going to have to sit here. I'm just going to sit here for now. Move towards the target. And if the hero's close enough, the blink is still going to blink towards the target. Oh, there should be target here, though. Target. Okay, we just need a state.find bush now. Find nearest bush. Where is state? Do we even track the bushes? We might not even track the bushes. Public function. Find nearest bush. Now, obviously, if I was concerned about performance, this would be one of the first ones that you could change because it never changes in the game and it's always going to be the same one I'm looking for, but we just don't care. Position 0.2. And there has to be a unit of bush. And what is this? What type? Where on earth are we storing bushes, though? This is in the reading thing? Entities. We haven't looked at entities in a long time, so map entities. And where do we store entities? Map entities, okay. Now, I'm sure there's a thing we can find max, min. There's a filter here somewhere that lets us find the max. Okay, so we're going to try it the rusty way. Self.map entities. Is there, what's the find? There must be a find max function or something. What's this little red thing up here? New article on Medium. Oh, whatever. Don't care about that. Okay, and Rust, standard, iter, or whatever it's called. Max by key. Thank you. Max by key? Really? Well, that'll get me to the right place. How is it different than max by? What's the difference between max by key and max by? Oh, there's a min by, so we might as well use that. Min by. But what's the difference between min by and min by key? Okay, so min by key is like a built-in mapping function, so we don't have to call map. Yeah, got it. Got it, I think. Map is min by key. This is going to return a map entity then. So return an entity, and this is going to be entity.distance to position. Now this is actually kind of annoying in Rust, that this is an option just for the case that the thing is empty. It's kind of like annoying. This would actually fail in the first round of the game, but we're not in the first round of the game anymore, so we don't care. Min by key. We need to iter first. Energy.position. Find nearest. Oh, this is going to be this fun thing again. You gotta be kidding me. I can't use min by key if I return an F64? Hey, some of these things are just like silly. Sorry, some of them are just like ridiculous. Alright, counter motion. So, okay, first of all, I'm just going to do this as I-64 and check that. Find. Okay, that's the other one. Find. That's the one you're saying. Find nearest bush. Oh, come on. State. F64 is I-64. To target. Where's distance to target? Target dot. Push that position. Okay. So that'll find the nearest bush to the tower, and we'll go sit there and hide in it like cowards. Ooh, raising money. So we're up at 89. So let's check out how we're supposed to compare. This is just a lack of orthogonality. I hope they add this. I mean, I hope there's no fundamental objection to floats supporting full orders just because of nan would be a pain, but I mean, I'm hoping it's just a temporary limitation in Rust for such things. Alright, let's do another submit. Now we want to fight this guy. So we win. We win against him now. Let's see how it works. We cowardly go hide in a bush. And he stands there. Priceless. We know we can improve that because in the bush we can be casting spells and stuff. At least on ourselves. Okay, so that cancels stupid strategy. So let's submit that. And Daisy-Yo is 78th, so maybe we get a bit further. We were up to 90. Okay, our first battles here are very bad. We hit a bad streak of initial battles. That's not good, so it's going to take us a long time to get up there now. What? We lost to Enkoyan? Not possible. Why was I even matched up against him? I thought it takes people near my rank. Why on earth did I get matched up against Enkoyan here? They're like right at the top. Or maybe it bases it on my last rank. Is that possible? Is it possible it takes my last rank and bases it around there? I have no idea. I really have no idea how it chooses it. But we are going up, so that's okay. Ah, the first 10 is totally random. Okay, so that's why that would happen. Okay, we're not expecting it to make it to the top, so... First 10 are for each 10th of the leaderboard? Okay, so it's not totally random. It is all over, each 10th. And since it scatters at random... Okay, that's actually not too bad. We're not expecting to make it too high, so it's not horrible. We just need to get higher than last time to prove that this was somehow effective. But we have a really hard time getting out of this bottom ranking here. It's like once you get out of the bottom ranking, you get higher, but you really need a strategy that deals with that bottom ranking first. But all the guys at the top would have to deal with it as well, because every time you submit, you're going to get stuck in that bottom for a bit. Unless you just resubmit until you jump out of it, but that's kind of... I don't like that approach. We have to just figure out why we're failing in these bottom ones. Not against the top guys, of course. Let's take this unicorn guy. How do we lose against unicorn guy? Well, they're doing something slightly different than we are. Why? Let's zoom this in here. What do we do? Oh, he's got Hulk in there. That's different. And I did something screwy there when I left the bush. There must be other places I leave the bush. And I should probably actually always go to the bush when I'm going back. I don't know. We lost the advantage right from the start there. Not doing well here either. What happens? What happens that makes us fail here? Looks like we have a similar strategy, but so what happens? Our Iron Man runs away. And Iron Man died. T-Raptor. Counterbalance. So we're supposed to. We're hiding right now if we're up against Deadpool or Hulk. Should it really just be the combination of both of them? Because Hulk alone will kill us. Hulk alone has the problem of just killing us quickly, which is a problem. And because I had that in the previous one, he just once he's dead, doesn't matter. Hulk alone will end up killing you. Or maybe not if we totally focus on Hulk. It starts getting harder and harder to add into the strategy, these little exceptions and stuff. Or what can I do? Well, we won that one. We're not going up higher now. We might be doing worse. I don't know. 28% progress. See, what I'd actually like to do in the strategies, simplify, if there's a way to simplify, because we have all this stuff left over from the previous one, and it's hard to say if you actually need it all there. But it takes so long to play again, and there's so much randomness, it's hard to say when you take out one individual strategy bit, how much this actually affect the strategy. So we're still gaining here. Who knows how high? Not high enough, I suspect. But when those guys at the top get knocked off to Legendary, it'll actually help. Well, it'll help everybody, because then you don't have that top 10 bunch fighting you in the start anyways. So where are we headed off to? Where's another one we lose? We lost a bunch here. We're losing quite a bit. Let's try some other guy here. Who is this guy? How does he beat us? Draw! It's a draw! Damn it. Alright, so draws are nothing we actually want to improve strategy on. Draws will be totally acceptable because we don't want to improve strategy on those. I die. At what point do I die? Fairly early, but we're fighting the same guys. And this is the thing I feared before, and I really have to watch this. I have to stay further away from their tower when they have these guys that can pull. I think the strategy has to be is that this guy, if Strange can ever pull you within tower range, just don't go there. Because that's bad then. Because you get stuck within the tower range and take all that damage. And so even though you're actually doing well and pushing them towards their side, you get too close. And then you get screwed up. So how far does he pull you? Let's try a quick fix to that type of thing. Oh, but I forgot to take that battle. I have to remember to take the battles always. Which one was it? Damn it. Wasn't that one? This one? No, we had less kills. I'm still fine with that. The green picture. This little guy here, maybe? Yeah, that looks like it. One up. You mean this one, though, don't you? Let's take this one first. I think it was that one. We go, and he sucks us in, and I get hit by the tower. Alright, so we... First of all, I want to check what was the range of that pulling ability. Pull. 200. So basically, you're going to add, just as a quick test, I'm just going to add that to my exclusion area. I'm just going to say is safe. And then I'll add the hero check later. As long as it's excluded, so I just don't get that close to the tower. And that's a quick test of this guy here. And if this works, I'm going to put the exclude check, say, look, if he has Doctor Strange within there, near their tower, if he's close to the tower, within tower range, then don't do it. But I'm going to see if it works first. At least proof of concept, maybe. Like, we're halfway through the charts. It's like, I mean, I'm happy with that, but tomorrow comes Legendary. My goal is just to make sure we can get into Legendary. And we still die here, so we still do something wrong. Not sure what we do wrong, though. Looks like we screw up later somehow. He loves using his pull ability, but we can't get within range of the tower, so how do we die? We just run out of health there. So we die for some other reason here. But we do successfully stay away from the tower, though. So I think I can encode that strategy a bit. We got a bit further. It didn't help us, but we got further. We kept away from the tower. Plus tower buffer. +1. So we're going to go through their heroes. If they have a hero, first of all, I'm just going to rough it here and say tower buffer equals 200. Or equals tower buffer dot max 200. And Valkyrie, I don't need to care about that right now. Spear flip. Actually, how much does a spear flip do? When a spear flip puts him behind that. Yeah, we're just going to do spear flip here. It's 155. It's not the actual value, but it should keep us out of there as well. Basically means he can't get close enough to throw us behind there. Let mut tower buffer equals 0f64. Okay, and that's fine. Now what we did there, which we failed to do, is we're stuck in that situation. We have some money left. We could have probably healed. Why did we not heal? What happened here? So Doctor Strange, he goes back and forth because we changed that slightly. Why is he running back out? He should have tried to heal or something. If heal potion is really close by, if heal potion. Are the potions random? So our hero, if heal potion. If heal potion. If the health is less than 150, that's valid. It means we didn't have enough money to buy it. Well, that kind of sucks. Could have at least cast heal. We're down, we're desperate, but we could have cast heal. We can do a desperation heal. I don't know if it'll make any difference, though. It just kills our mana. This one's hard. Our rank is higher than this guy, though, so the strategy doesn't work that far. So what can we do to fight that? I'm just taking a lot of damage. Whoops. I'm running out of ideas for the evening. Well, I can do the simple tweak here, the one that sometimes makes a difference. Pump this up to 75, we just stay further away so we don't take as much damage. It's kind of iffy. I don't know what to base that number on, though. It's just kind of hard-coded. 50's been working. I don't really... There must be some dynamic... And look, it makes a difference. But I don't know what... This loses other battles. And there must be some dynamic condition to base that on. Maybe my health or something, or based on what guys are there. I just don't know. I don't know what to base it on. And that's the condition right here, like just keep that much distance between me and my lead units. Maybe that should also be based on hero type. Are we done our battle? Should I submit another one? We're pretty much done. So I got to 97 this time. Let's submit this. So we're up to 97. Let's see if we do any different with that. Well, we bounce up quicker, faster, but we already seen that can be totally random. And this is interesting about these games where you have this type of meta. We're tweaking it for the people we're encountering now, right? Who knows if tomorrow somebody comes and it changes all this stuff and everything changes, you're going to be knocked down. And that's kind of the purpose of having like leagues and stuff, so you don't get knocked down all the way back down to the bottom, which by having a strategy that sometimes suffers at different things. That was a lot to deal with in something like Hearthstone or the card game. You have to deal with the meta because at different rankings you have different people. And this is league separated, which it should be about the same. I don't think it separates so much through here. I mean, it will, but... Alright, let's let this be the last run, and we'll see wherever we end up, and I'm going to call it a night then with that one. I think we're doing reasonably well. We're high enough here that if a bunch of people go off to Legendary, we might have a chance to get to Legendary. But it looks like we will have to change things. And my biggest thing is, do I have to actually change things? Or can I tweak it? We've tweaked the stuff like excessively at this point. And there's still one thing I haven't done is I haven't split my guys up, so they still take group damage here. But we're standing here out of the range, it's totally fine. Like whatever he's doing here, hiding. Hard to say how they got so far. There appear to be a few degenerate strategies, and yeah, that's my fear, is an unbeatable gold boss. They're going to take J.R. Ferguson up there and just stick it up there. But there still needs to be plenty of degenerate strategies in here, like this guy's here. So a lot of really simple ones. So some people have identified and found these degenerate strategies that are still working well. And ours, right from the start, except when we did the cowardly one, I started just tweaking a lot. And that's what I think about. Maybe I should go through half the conditions I have and start removing them. And remove all the conditions that don't appear to help. Because some of removing might actually bump us up. Like some of my conservative stuff may no longer be applied, may be applicable. And this is where if you wanted to take like a heuristic, this expert system type strategy, and stick it into machine learning, you really have all these tactic bits and all these variables. And even though it can't plot in the future, it's not really generic, there's enough here that it could actually work with. But you would actually need an engine to run against. You can't rely on this submission thing, because the type of machine learning like that has to execute thousands upon thousands of runs to figure out what will work and what doesn't. You have the referee, but you don't have the code from the other people. You can play against yourself a lot, but that would be really silly because we have a fixed strategy. So unless we played against every version of ourselves and every version we ever saw. So what I'm wondering is now, what would our next strategy be? Split our guys up. And if you notice, it's telling very, very few people actually go for Groot and stuff. and we'll have to like figure out. Well, these guys are going for Groot. And actually, this makes a lot of sense, and and I think I know what strategy they did. It's one I thought of too. Is that the first 2 Groots are easy. If you just go kill them, you get some extra bonus gold right at the start of the game. So maybe I can do that. I can add that, and this gets to be adding more and more variation. But the more variation you have, the more and more fur you have that you're not really doing something correct, and you have some broken stuff in there that doesn't work correctly. And how do we lose this one? Less creeps and kills. I'm actually okay. If all our losses were because we have less creeps and kills, I'd actually be okay with that. Because that is a minor tweaking one. If we have draws and less creeps and kills, that one for sure means we don't have to fundamentally change the strategy. It means we have to tweak things. I mean, unless the balance is like 50 more kills or something, but that's unlikely. This is a super conservative game there. And my one guy has... There's no potions again here for sale. I gotta double check that potion thing to see if we're actually buying them. And because I run back and forth, and that's because of the way my strategy works, is he doesn't sit in one place. And I do have one idea here. First off, I gotta double check this potion thing. I'm gonna write this down. There's no way we don't have a potion for 352. There has to be a health potion that costs that much. And he should be buying them because we have 382 gold now. And the second one is we do have one desperate mover. If I actually don't have enough gold, but I have items, I could sell the items and buy a potion. Alright, so we're still stuck at 100 here. I don't think we're going to get any higher. It does say it's going up, though. So maybe let's give it a few more minutes and let's see what happens with that. So we have the health potion. And desperation, I could sell items. IKFS, it definitely takes a turn, but if you saw in that last one, my guy's doing nothing anyways. And so basically when I get back to the tower, I should actually make them calm down, stop acting like, you know, a hyperactive child, and if they don't have enough gold, they could sell an item, buy the potion. It seems kind of like desperation, to be honest, and it is desperation, but in a lot of cases that might give you just the extra little bits, and then they can buy the items later. Like, they will buy them back, and those items I'm buying are pretty cheap. And I'm just writing down my points now. I sell items, and I can split up my people, split heroes to keep them apart so they don't get group damage. And what else could I possibly do? Big strategies. We went in hiding. Hiding's not a big deal. We could hide and heal as another option. You generate mana so badly, though. Right, we're getting up against opponents now with the simple strategies. So we are losing against a few simple strategies, but they tend to be lower than us in the ranking. Meaning overall we're probably doing okay, but if we... So the higher strategies are the ones we have to deal with. We hit enough of them that we have to deal with the intelligent strategies, which are outmaneuvering us, which are no longer simple little things. And whether it's a matter of minor tweaking or whatever, we don't know yet. So this one's stable around 100, I guess, and it looks like it's going up. Hard to tell. Is it so... I wish they had a center option here. They can center around your guy. Because otherwise you have to do this, see what's around you. So any loss or gain will push you, like all these 23s, they're very close together. So losses and gains will push us really close together. And same with the other guys, they're all computing at the same time. How many people are actively computing right now? There's really not that many people computing or swimming right now. Gaulrauch is actively working. And of the people actively fighting, we're close to the high point here. As Kellis. So I think whatever we did, we may have tweaked our strategy. It may have helped a little bit because we're stable over 100. So this looks like a good get checkpoint, I think. And this probably looks like a decent ending point. And it's really this competition. What I really find is it takes a really, really long time to go through these battles in this scoreboard. And I don't know if that's intentional or it's just the load or something. Is it really intentional that they take this long, or... Look, there's a pretty large gap between 51 and 81, so this is where it starts ramping up. I wish they had a little graph to show this ramping there, because that would really say what obstacles you have to come on, because are we good enough to get into this 50 rank, or are we just basically just in the front of the stuff at the bottom there? It's hard to say. But we're up to 83 now. This is not bad. What did I just change that made a difference? I don't know what I just changed. 75. Hey, that's okay. 69. That's looking really nice. Yeah, I'm actually quite happy like this. This is actually... So this would really point towards the algorithms at top might be more stable than the ones at the bottom. Well, I doubt that, but there we go. So we drop back down to 72. But this is actually okay. So we're gonna set this as a checkpoint for tomorrow, and we're gonna see what happens with the legendary. I might get up earlier in the morning. I don't know what I'm gonna work on, because I think there's a definite advantage to being in that whatever that top 15 is, but getting the top 15 is going to be extremely hard, so I highly doubt it that will be there. But 66 looks really good. If they do take 20, let's say 25 people go away, they said 10, 15. If 25 people went away to legendary, that puts us really close to the top and probably puts us within tweaking range. And... so like we fundamentally, our strategy is probably okay for gold. If we found any cool things to do, we would, but this might just be tweaking values, little range checks. There are a few extra things I haven't checked, but I've written them down then what we have. Yeah, thanks, Organ Grinder. We're actually looking, it's looking quite good right now. Like, we have to get over the lowest stuff, but this is actually looking okay. Like this right now, I'm happy with. This is 64th in the competition overall. There is no rank above us right now. There's just no rank above us. So we're, at the moment, tomorrow there will be, but at the moment there isn't. And so I'm happy for that. I'll cheer for myself. Yay! And... okay, so I think we're going to, like I say, the evening is going to end there. This takes a lot of brain power somehow. I mean, I get tired. Tomorrow, I don't know when I'll come on. Probably after Legendary is announced. In the morning, I was actually planning on doing Leaf. I really want to get the SDL graphic stuff running. If I'm feeling up for it, I might stream that, but it'll be really early because it'll be early European time, and I really want to just focus. There's a few debugging things I have to do which are not so much fun to watch, but I'll see what happens in the evening. Definitely I'll come back. This is promising enough that, you know, I have to keep working at this. It looks like definitely with some work we'll be able to get to Legendary when it comes up, and so that'll be great. And I'm assuming now the climb here is, even if we do keep climbing, this is going to be really rough to climb because there's the numbers are going up pretty 25. They're Yeah, we could be okay. Really just like to see where we finish, but tomorrow we'll see where we finish as well. So this is okay. I'm going to go back to Visual Studio here, Visual Code, whatever it is, get status, get commit, gold up to, say, 60 roughly. And this is relatively stable there, it seems. So that's a good point here. That's relatively stable. And 60, 64, that's fine. Doesn't make a big difference. And this is out of... So since we got here, it was 232, I think. 23 more people have entered Gold League as well. And by tomorrow, I assume that'll be even higher. I wonder if they track your maximum rank ever. That'd be interesting. But we know ours is around 64 or something. But we're really stable here now. So that means our strategy is actually not so bad. So the ones we're failing against might be hard. But we may not want to look at the failures. We have to look at the higher failures and see what happens. Okay, I'm just sort of talking out the rest of this leaderboard thing. I just want to see it. I just want to see where I really end up here. And... so right up beside edA-qa, who's the other, who's also doing Rust here. And let's see how we lose this one. Let's look at a few we lose. It's always Iron Man and Doctor Strange anywhere. There's like nobody takes anything else. And so we just die in hard combat in the middle there. So some point we have to decide we're being too conservative. And this is a really hard decision because when you become even more conservative, so we creeped up one more. When you become more conservative, you start losing as well because the other guy gets too much. But I notice I'm really not killing enough of the units. Organ Grinder, yeah, I'm seeing that too, is that there are other strategies that can work. There is definitely one. I saw one higher before in the leaderboard. There's somebody with Hulk higher up. And I was stuck with Hulk and Bronze up until yesterday. And I just got rid of him and said I can't make this work. And I don't know this late in the competition whether I don't think we're going to have time to focus on another hero unless we can see a degenerate strategy or combination, because it's a lot of work to get these tweaked. But again, most of our tweaks are generic. Our heroes are very similar in what they do other than their skills. Valkyrie. Yeah, Valkyrie is another interesting one I've seen come up. And like if I look at where we're fighting right now, like we've stopped doing denies. Ever since we added the logic of not shooting at our guys when they have lower health than that, we've basically stopped getting deny kills. And I think that's because probably what happened is that he would attack one of ours and we'd attack it, we'd get that last hit. And so this is how we're losing here. We really have to get on this killing. We're not killing enough units. And that would give us more gold as well. But even look at this. Look at the shitty use of gold here. This is another one that if I improve my item strategy, we could do better as well. I should be selling this crap and buying something stronger. Because look, I have 1,000 gold. So improve items is another option. We have to learn to improve items. Strong resistance. Yes, I'm gonna buy better killing items. And that's it. We're done computing. We're at number 61, which I'm totally happy with for today. Again, this is 61 in the competition. There's no league above us. 61 in the competition. I'm totally happy with that. So I'm going to back out of here. And I don't know how many people are actually in here. There's 5,000 total. So let's look at the leaderboard. Bodies of the Galaxy World. We're number 61. And I'm totally happy with that at the moment. I mean, this is a massive gap though, like 25 to 37. That's a huge gap to get up to. And he's apparently figured out how to beat this guy. Early in the day, he was higher there, and he's got a good gap on him. So his strategy there has fallen. And this is all Gold League. Can you go to the bottom of this page? It just shows the first 1,000. All the way down to Wood League, the first 1,000. And who knows how many people are actually playing. You see the first 1,000, but anything above Wood League, if they're trapped there, we don't know. It's still, I mean, the game's hard enough to get out of some of those leagues. It was challenging us to get there, and somehow our things going up here. So this is going to shift overnight, I guess. We're going to go up or down a little bit, and we'll have to see where we are tomorrow. But I thank you all very much for watching. I've had a good time against Knight. We did well. Thanks for all the advice, the Rust help, the strategy things, pointing out the bugs, the defects. Thank you for the supports. I've had a lot of fun with the show so far, and I'm going to continue it tomorrow night. And on the weekend we have some too. We'll see where it is, because tomorrow Legendary opens, and the goal really is let's get into Legendary. If we get into the Legendary, we'll consider this whole thing wonderful. It was a success either way, but that would be awesome if we get into Legendary, regardless of where we get there. So thank you, and I'll see you again tomorrow evening. If you want to watch, just check tomorrow morning. I might do a live stream. Otherwise, tomorrow evening. Thank you very much, and have a good evening. We'll see you tomorrow.